Welcome to Lexus Southampton. My name is Abbas. I'm the Lexus Technology Specialist here at the dealership. Today we're going to be going over the Lexus RZ 450e. The RZ is a zero-emission vehicle, meaning this is a full battery vehicle. This car now incorporates a new spindle body design for the whole entire car. You also have this illuminated logo here that will light up when you have the parking lights on or the driving lights on, or when you're charging up the vehicle. When the car is done charging, it will actually shut off. You have the brand new headlight here where the daytime running light is on top. You have an LED light right below that for your headlights. You also have the headlamp washer here and parking sensors throughout the whole entire vehicle. When you come around to the side here, we are looking at the premium package with the iridium color. This premium package has 18-inch wheels. These 18-inch wheels will give you 220 miles of range. If you do opt for the luxury package that has the 20-inch wheels, the range drops down to 196 miles. You also have something called the digital latch system, which is now a digital door. So you don't pull the handle, simply push the button, it'll open up the door. You have the same system inside the car. See the dots here, you push the dots and that'll open up the door as well. The reason why we did this is when you do shut off the vehicle, the blind spot monitor system will remain on. And if a car is approaching or a bicyclist is approaching and you go to open the door, you'll actually get an alert letting you know something's approaching, and it will prevent you from opening the door into that. Now when you look at the back seat of this car, it is quite roomy. You have a very nice long wheelbase, gives you a very stable ride to the car. Much of the weight of this car is in the floor of this car, so you have a very stable, very substantial ride to the car. A ton of leg room. These seats do recline right in the back, and it's a flat floor here in the back as well. Moving to the back of the car, you have the new blade light that goes all the way across the back. At night it looks beautiful at nighttime with the new Lexus, no logo in the back, but the Lexus word back here. And you also have direct drive 4 here. We're going to go over this system when we go inside the car. You also have the blade up here. So typically you'd have a visor that goes all the way across. In this car, that's actually a blade, and the air that gets channeled between the two actually keeps the air going over the back end of the car, giving you a little bit more downforce, and also eliminates having to have a wiper in the back. This car also has a kick sensor for the trunk. If you have stuff in your hand and whatnot, you can also open up the trunk that way. You do have a lot of storage capacity, and then again, underneath the floor, you do have more storage capacity. That bag that you see there is the actual charging wire that comes standard with the car. It's a 110 plug for level 1 charging. The seats do fold down. It's a 60-40 split for the seats, and you can also kick your foot to close the trunk. But let's say if you want to exit the vehicle and walk away and want to lock the car as well, you have a button here for locking the vehicle. If you look at this one, if you tap on that, it's called the walkaway feature. I hit this, I'll have a minute to gather all my belongings and walk away from the car, and the trunk will close on its own and lock the car as well. Now, next we're going to go to our charging station. We're going to show you how the charging capabilities of the car, and then after that we're going to go inside the car to go over all the features inside the car. The RZ 450e does require that you charge the vehicle. Now, the charging port is on the driver's side. The car must be unlocked to open up this door. Once the door is open, you'll see a charging port at the top. This one is for level 1 and level 2 charging. Underneath is for level 3 charging. So level 1 and level 2 charging, level 1 will take about a little bit over 2 days to charge up the vehicle. Level 2 charging is what we recommend. That'll take about 12 hours to charge up the vehicle. This is a charge point charger. It is as simple as that. And that charges the vehicle. Now to undo this, the car must be unlocked, and then you can actually remove this. It's a very simple system. We do recommend level 2 chargers. If you're going to be driving this pretty often, we do recommend a level 2 charger to be installed in your home by a certified electrician. So we're seated here inside the RZ 450e. One thing I can tell you, the interior is top notch. The fit and finish, the craftsmanship, the stitching, it is just an exceptional experience inside the vehicle. This one is the premium package, so this has the new Lux interior. The luxury model will have the ultra suede interior. Now, a couple of things I want to go over. You have these paddle shifters here, and what this will do is it'll change the feedback force when you let up off the gas pedal. So the regenerative braking, you can intensify it, or you can make it a little bit less, and you have 4 different levels to it. These controls over here control your heads-up display. So in front of me, I can see over here like different controls. This can be modified to whatever I want it to do. In addition to that, I have a 14-inch standard screen in this car. This 14-inch screen does allow for Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay. It does also give you the Lexus system as well. Now the screen that we're on here, it shows you the individual power going to each wheel. This car has something called the direct 4 drive, What this means is each individual wheel, each axle has individual power going to it, and it will change the power going to each wheel depending on the driving conditions. You also have different drive modes to the car. So you can have the normal drive mode for day-to-day driving. You can have an eco mode for slightly better economy. You have the sport mode for much more aggressive driving. The pedal becomes a lot more responsive and it really shoots out. It also changes the way the steering feels. You have a range mode, which actually shuts off the motors up front and gives you a lot more range as far as how many miles you can go. And you also have a custom mode where you can change to whatever, you can modify it to what you like. In addition to that, right below that line here, you have the climate control system, and so this car has heated and ventilated seats. You also have radiant heating, especially here in the Northeast, something very important. When you're seated, it'll actually shoot out heat from in front of your knees, and this panel becomes very warm, and if you do touch it, it shuts off immediately so you don't burn yourself. You do lose your glove box on that side as a result of that, but you do have pockets underneath the bridge here for storage. Moving downwards, you also have USB-C charging for quick charging. You also have wireless charging pad right over here for your phone. You also have a 360 camera. This one happens to have the panoramic view monitor, so it gives you a 360 view of what's around you when you're parked. When you're in reverse, also it'll show you the 360 and your backup camera as well. Moving upwards, you have your rear view mirror like we have in every car, but there's a little flip here. Now the little flip in this one actually turns on a camera behind the car. So just in case you have 3 passengers sitting behind you, or your car is packed to the brim, this one you can always see what's going on behind you regardless of what's behind your seat. Moving upwards here, you have the safety connect button here. So if you hit this button, God forbid you have an emergency like roadside assistance, or you have a medical emergency, or you get into an accident, you always have access to this button here. Now, something new here is our drive mode selector here. So this one, if I push down, turn to the right, I can go into drive. You notice the camera up front is showing me up front what's going on. If I turn to the left, it goes into reverse. This shows the backup camera. To put into park, use a button, hit the button for park. So we're going to be going over some best practices on the RZ. So the RZ has a lithium ion battery. This is a 71.4 kilowatt hour battery. And for much like your cell phone, you want to be in between that 80 and 20% window. You don't want it to drop below 20%. You typically don't want to charge it too much over the 80% mark either. And that'll get you the longest life out of the battery. Again, Lexus is claiming that you will get about 90% of its charging capabilities even after 10 years of use. Now, level 3 charging is available on this car, but it is not something that we want you to do repeatedly. Because it does lower the life of the battery. Now, if you are going for a long trip and there are not charging stations available in that vicinity, Lexus does have something called the Lexus Reserve program, where you can drop off your vehicle at the dealership and you will get a regular gasoline powered car, whether it be a hybrid or a regular gasoline powered car, for a total of 30 days of usage between your ownership, your first 3 years of ownership. It's a great added benefit to having a Lexus RZ. So I definitely want you to come in, experience what the RZ has to offer you. The driving experience is bar none one of the most exceptional that we have. Definitely want you to come in and experience it. We look forward to seeing you. My name again is Abbas. I'm here at Lexus Southampton.